Right, okay, so these equations here, you've got three of them, all have to be arranged so they look something like y equals mx plus c. So all the equations that we are going to do, these three here, all need to be in that form there. Okay? So what I mean by in that form, I mean they need to look something like y equals something x plus something. Okay? So y equals something x plus c. So y equals something x plus something. So here we've got y minus 3x is equal to 5. Okay? But I need the y on its own on this side. So to do that, I add 3x to both sides. Okay? So what that then looks like is y is equal to, if I add 3x to that, it equals 0. And I get y equals 3x plus 5. Okay? So this 3x goes over to the other side. I add it on here, add it on here. Whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. And I get y equals 3x plus 5. Now, if you look at that, so y equals 3x plus 5, it then looks like it's in this form. Y equals something x, in this case 3, plus c, plus 5. So this now looks like this. So on this one here, the first thing that I'm going to do, okay, to get it to look like that, is I'm going to take this 6 over to the other side. So this is a plus 6 here, so to get to the other side, I need to take 6 away from this side, which means I take 6 away from 6x away from this side. So I'm left with 2y is equal to minus 6x minus 4. Okay? All I've done is I've taken 6x away from both sides. Now, the last thing I need to do, because it's y, not 2y, but y, is I need to divide everything by 2. So if I divide this side by 2, to get the y on its own, I need to do the same to the other side. Okay, you might remember this from kind of algebra stuff that we were doing at the beginning of the year. So if you divide this by 2, that becomes negative 3x, and then take away 2. Okay, so your m, in this case, is negative 3, and your c is negative 2. Okay, and now it looks like y equals something x plus or minus something. Okay, now it can get a bit more complicated, but the same thing still stands, is you need to get it to look like y equals something x plus something. So this is a little bit trickier. So I'm going to do a couple of different things to this, but it's not going to change it around too much. So I've currently got this minus 3y here. Okay, and to get the y on its own is always the first thing that I've done with these two examples. So in this case here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 3y to both sides. Okay, now adding 3y to both sides gives me 5x plus 4 is equal to 3y. Okay, and what I'm going to do is, just for ease, is I'm just going to swap those terms around. So 3y equals 5x plus 4. Okay, all I did there was just switch them around. So this line is exactly the same as this. Okay, they just swapped sides. Now, we've got 3y equals 5x plus 4, but again, I need the y on its own on this side. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide by 3. And this is where it can get a little bit tricky. Okay, so if I divide by 3, I just get the y on its own. But I've then got 5 that needs to be divided by 3, and in that case, I would leave it as a fraction. Okay, if it doesn't divide perfectly, leave it as a fraction, and then this 4 will be plus 4 over 3. I hope that makes a bit more sense. So let's go through all of them again. So this first one, I had y take away 3x is equal to 5. I need it in this form, so I add 3x to both sides, which gives me y equals 3x plus 5. Okay, that then looks like that. Okay, now in this instance here, I take away 6x from both sides. That means I get this 2y on its own. So I get 2y is equal to minus 6x minus 4, but I need a singular y, so I divide by 2. And if I divide by 2 on this side of the equals, I need to divide by 2 on this side of the equals. So we got y is equal to negative 3x, take away 2. And then on this one here, it's a bit more complex, but I've added 3y to get the y's on their own on one side of the equation. And all I've done is I've just swapped it around. And I need 1y on its own, and I've got 3y there. So I divided by 3 on this side. Now if you divide by 3 on this side, I have to divide by 3 on this side. 5 divided by 3 just gives me 5/3. And 4 divided by 3 just gives me 4/3. Okay, I hope that makes a bit more sense. Okay, because all of what I've done is just rearranging the equation to get it to look something like that. I hope that makes a bit more sense for some of you, seeing a few kind of examples there. If you need to pause it at any one given time, just pause the video. Good luck.